Storytime. I'm so glad you joined us. We have a great story for you today, so let's jump in and have some fun. And if you're here live, make sure you make a comment down. If you're here on replay, just as good, put a comment down below and say hi. We'd love to say hi back. Today we are welcoming New York Times best-selling children's author Tim J. Myers, and he is going to be reading from his book, Yao Bai and the Egg Pirates. I have to say, I love that name. I want to know what an egg pirate is. But before we get to that, let me give you a little bit of background on Tim J. Myers. He is a widely published writer, storyteller, songwriter, visual artist, and senior lecturer at Santa Clara University. His work has made the New York Times bestseller list for children's books and has been reviewed in the Times and read aloud on NPR. So without further ado, we welcome Tim to the show. Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Karen, and hello, kids of the world. How are you doing? I hope everybody's doing great. There is nothing quite like sharing stories, so I'm here to do that. And today I am delighted to say that I'll be reading you my book, Yao Bai and the Egg Pirates.
And I can't wait. So before we start, we want everyone to snuggle in with the people that they came with. Maybe it's a mom and a dad, or a grandma or grandpa, or brother or sister, or aunt or uncle, whoever it is, snuggle in with them because it's time for story time. Are you ready, Tim?
I'm ready, Karen.
Here we go.
Hey, kids. Now, I live in the Bay Area, which is very close to San Francisco. And off the coast of San Francisco, there are some beautiful islands called the Farallons. They're way out there on the ocean. Now, in the old days in California, there was a gold rush, one of the biggest gold rushes in the world. People found gold, and the miners came by the thousands from all over the world. And one of the problems they had was, how do you feed so many miners? San Francisco was a tiny little town at that time, not a big city. Well, out there on the islands, what they had were seabirds. You can kind of see them in the picture. And what do seabirds do? They lay eggs, especially this kind of bird called a murre. And the murres laid eggs that were big and thick-shelled, and one egg could feed 3 men. So people started going out to the islands to get the eggs to sell to the gold miners. There was money to be made, and there were miners to be fed. Well, my book is a story about a Chinese boy and his father and uncle who go out to get some of these eggs. And I want to dedicate this to Chinese Americans today because Chinese Americans have done so much for America. Yao Bai and the Egg Pirates. And you will find out what an egg pirate is. Pardon me. I'm trying to get this up into I'm doing it the wrong way. Yao Bai was dreaming of whales when a gentle hand woke him. "Get up now, son," his mother said. "Today is a new adventure. You sail to the islands." Rubbing his hands for warmth in the dawn chill, Yao hurried to the beach. There his father and uncle were preparing their small boat. Out across the shallow bay, sunlight flooded the world. After years of famine and war, Yao's family had crossed the ocean from China to Gold Mountain, their name for America. Yao had been sad to leave China, but sadder still that they saw no whales during their long journey. Now you can imagine what it would be like if you haven't seen a whale. But if you have, you can remember it's an amazing thing to see a whale in the open ocean. Now, Yao's family lived in a fishing camp nestled in Upper San Francisco Bay, north of the city. The boy from next door came running. "Going shrimping, Yao?" "No, Quan. We're sailing out on the ocean to the islands where the seabirds lay eggs to collect them for all those hungry gold miners. We'll make a fortune." "Yao, we need you," his father said sharply. Yao ran to help. "What about pirates?" Quan asked. "They might steal your eggs." And it's true. Pirates actually did steal eggs from the egg gatherers back in those days. "Our fishing tax is due," Yao's father said, "and we must send more money to our family in Guangdong. Miners pay a lot for eggs. As for pirates, we'll just have to take our chances." Yao's mother came running. "Don't forget to rub Putai's belly for luck," she said. Yao's uncle laughed, but they each held the small statue of the god. As Yao rubbed, he prayed silently, "Give us good fortune, and please keep pirates away." "When you return," Yao's mother said, "I'll mix the eggs with shrimp." She winked at Yao. "Shrimp foo young, my favorite," he cried. Can you guess who else loves shrimp foo young? Yes, I do. Very, very much. Soon they dragged the boat into the low surf and set their sail. Before long, they rounded the Marin headland and made for the open ocean. Yao gazed across the water at San Francisco, with its house-covered hills and the forest of ship masts crowding its piers. Current, wind, and tide moved them quickly out of the bay. The morning land breeze was behind them, the seas gentle. To the west, they could see the islands, the Farallons, 26 miles away, their stony points clear against the blue horizon. And maybe you can see a little hint of something in this picture. "Yao," his father said, "we have to watch for pirates. Stay alert." "Yes, father," Yao shivered. When they reached the main island, the sun was high overhead. "We only want myrrh eggs," Yao's uncle said. "The shells are thick, hard to break. The birds fly off when humans come, leaving the eggs unprotected. Pardon me. And the eggs are so big, one can feed 3 people." "Yao," his father said, "you gather near the boat where it's safer. We'll go higher." Soon Yao was scrambling over the rocks, filling his basket, admiring the graceful shapes of the speckled eggs. In a few hours, their boat was full and they set sail for home, the eggs clicking gently against each other with the rocking of the hull. Well, it sounds like they're in good shape. They've got the eggs. For a time, they watched the land grow larger as the west wind drew them on. Yao was getting sleepy when something caught his eye. "Sails!" he yelled, pointing east. His father jumped up. "Pirates?" Yao asked fearfully. His uncle nodded. "All that work for nothing," Yao's uncle said, shaking his head. Yao looked at their precious cargo. Suddenly an idea came to him. "We can hide the eggs." "Where?" His uncle said. "We couldn't hide anything on such a small boat." In a rush, Yao explained his plan. "I never would have thought of that," said Yao's uncle with a laugh. Even Yao's father smiled. They quickly got to work. The pirate boat was still a half-mile off when they finished. Not an egg could be seen. "Now," Yao's father said, "we pretend to fish." When the larger boat drew up, Yao could see hard-looking faces. "Chinaman," a sailor called out, "what are you doing here?" Yao saw his father wince angrily at the hated word and noticed how his uncle's jaw tightened. "Fishing," Yao's father answered in English. "Just fishing?" the man asked suspiciously. "Not much else to do out here," said Yao's uncle. The man glared. "You giving me lip, boy?" "No," said Yao's uncle, looking straight into the man's eyes. "Ease up, Jeffries." An older man emerged from behind a pile of baskets. He looked their boat over carefully. Seems like he's the boss, doesn't it? "Why don't you cross on over and make sure they're telling the truth," he said quietly. Jeffries gave a nasty smile. But just as he lifted his leg to step onto the boat, a great watery whoosh filled the air. When Yao looked up, he thought his heart would stop. An immense humpback whale, its dark skin speckled with white barnacles, lifted itself high out of the waves. Then it slumped sideways, falling back with a huge splash that left both boats rocking madly. The men grabbed for anything to hang on to as the boats pitched dangerously close to each other. Finally, the rocking eased. "We don't need no damage to our boat," the pirate boss said. "They ain't got eggs. Let's clear out." He stared hard at Yao's father. "And we don't need your kind around here, understand?" His heart thumping, Yao watched the big boat pull away. Once the pirate sails disappeared, Yao helped haul in their nets. As the eggs came dripping from the water, Yao laughed with joy. The eggs felt cold to the touch as they lowered them gingerly back into the hole. Only 3 were broken. Gulls screeched and dove as Yao's uncle threw the shells overboard. So you see his wonderful idea. They put the eggs in the nets and put them underwater. "Good thing we rubbed Putai's belly," said Yao's uncle. "It brought us luck after all." "Yao did too," said Yao's father, smiling. "I'm proud of you, my son." Soon they tied up at a wharf in the city, and Yao's father sold the eggs, stuffing more money than Yao had ever seen into his worn purse. Keeping a few eggs for themselves, they sailed home. As they neared the beach, all the families came running. The twilight was soon full of the mouth-watering smell of shrimp foo young. Ooh, that makes me really, really hungry. Sitting around the fire, everyone ate till they could eat no more and listened to the story of Yao's delicious trickery 10 times over. Then they talked and laughed till the moon was high. It was late when Yao finally dropped into bed, happy and exhausted. "When you woke this morning," his mother said, tucking him in, "did you ever think this day would be so wonderful?" "It was wonderful," Yao murmured. "I saw a whale." Then he slept, a bit of shrimp foo young still clinging to his lip. The end.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was awesome. Now I know what the eggs and all that are all about. That was a great, great story, Tim. While you were reading, we had some comments and some questions. First of all, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Irene Hart, our entire 4th grade class is listening. Way to go. I think that's so cool. And Miggy said, "What is it like to be an author?"
I love being an author because I get to be working, having fun, thinking about things all the time. So this book was written because my family and I took a boat tour out to those islands. I got very seasick. I saw a shark, and we saw the whales jumping. And while I'm out having fun on that boat, the seasick part wasn't fun, but while I'm out having fun on that boat, I was working as an author because it gave me the idea for this book. I love being an author.
I love that. And we had one more question, and I think this is great because we always should give credit to the illustrator
I'm so glad
who made
that
the pictures.
Mason asked that question. Mason, thank you. These pictures were made by Bonnie Pang. You can see her name. I get this up here right. Bonnie's illustrations are fabulous. I am so grateful to her.
They're absolutely beautiful. So I'm putting up an image right now of the book. So that people can see it clearly what the book looks like. And this book is available on onceuponastorytime.live. So we're going to encourage people to go head on over there and pick up a copy. Now that you've heard the story, I'm sure you're going to want to read it again and again and look at the beautiful, beautiful pictures. So I wanted to put that up there. And as normal, Tim, as you know, and all the rest of the authors, here we got another comment. We have, okay,
Absolutely.
So I have to put these up because they're fun. Sandra Rumble says, Sandra Rumble and her 4th graders
Sandra
want
Rumble
to say
and your
thank
4th
you.
graders, I want to say, you guys made my day. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. So we always do a download. We always have something that our friends can go back afterwards to keep the fun going long after the shows have ended. And in this case, we have something a little bit different. This is more for our teachers, and of course our parents right now are teachers, right? So tell us a little bit about what they can expect to get so they're not surprised, because it's like 13 pages or something like that. So tell us
Well, don't
what
let
they
the
might
13
expect.
pages intimidate you. I'm a teacher, and I was a teacher educator for a long time, so I have a lot of materials to use this book to teach kids. And I really emphasize in a way that really motivates kids, is really interesting for kids. But I also synced it all up with the California Language Arts and Social Studies standards. So if
Wow.
you're doing this, you can go in. It's written for teachers, but parents as teachers, or just as parents, there's plenty of little ideas you can pull out of that to work with your kids so that all of you can have fun and learn at the same time, which is the best thing ever.
That, you know what, and I thank you for that, because you know, it's wonderful to watch and to listen to a story, but to be able to go out afterwards and do some activities and keep the fun going, that's what it's all about. So along those lines, we're going to send people over to your website,
Thank
and that's
you.
MyersStorysong.com to check out everything else that's going on with you. And if you're playing on Twitter, which I do, I don't know how many of you play out on Twitter, you can go check out Tim there at T Myers Story Song. And if you happen to be a Facebook person, go to Tim J. Myers 1 and just put it in the search engine and you will find him. And then finally, go on over to YouTube and put Tim J. Myers in it, because you'll find all of Tim's YouTube videos. You are awesome. This has been so much fun. I can't wait for you to come back and read one of your other stories.
I can't wait to come back.
And we have oh, you know what? I'm just going to keep putting the comments up.
I love them.
So Annie says with a heart, hello, thank you for setting this up. You're so welcome. It's our pleasure.
Yay for Caren.
And then we have our other fourth grade class. Thank you so much. We sing a song about the gold rush and we say eggs cost $3 each.
It's true. It's true. In fact, there's even a story from that time that things were so expensive that miners would buy pears and apples on trees before they grew on the trees, and they put a little piece of paper around the tree saying, "This pear belongs to Joe." You know, so we should sing about that.
We absolutely should. Well, we want to thank everyone for showing up today, because we know that you had a choice and you decided to come listen to Tim tell his story. So we're going to see you guys next week for a bunch of other programming, but I want to make sure you come back tomorrow, because we welcome Rachel Rush from Mindful Circle for some yoga fun on Once Upon a Yoga Time. And again, don't forget to go check out onceuponastorytime.live to pick up the downloads, the activity sheets, and to go purchase your own copy of the book. So we want to say goodbye to everyone, and we'll see you next time